always very busy and always very chaotic. Good morning. Happy Monday / last week of work for the year. Last week of me working in Sydney. So many things. I was just driving to the gym and country music was playing, and I have definitely started getting emotional. I've got half a week of work and then a few Christmas parties this week, but there is going to be a lot of goodbyes this week, and that definitely makes me emotional. I'm definitely getting to the point where it's like I'm super excited, like I cannot wait to be in the Gold Coast, but saying goodbye to my life here, like my routine, from everyone, like the people at the gym, like my good friends, obviously, work people, just people in my local community, like the baristas, like every little person that just felt so normal to me. Having to know that all of that is going to change is so scary. And I am I would say like an attached personality to my routine, and I get really attached to people. And so yeah, it's those guys that I'm gonna miss seeing every day, and I've built beautiful relationships with the most random strangers. But this week I will be making an effort to say goodbye to them all. I actually bought about 6 books, and every book is for a different person and a different like book that I think would help them or a time in their life that they're going through. So I wrote letters in the front of these books, and I'm going to be obviously gift wrapping them and giving them to some of the girls this week, but I feel like that will just be emotional as well. I've worked 5 days in the office for the last 4 years. I'm very close to all these girls, so stepping away is going to be a big change as well. But anyway, we are at the gym. I'm going to put some headphones in. Probably not going to play country music this morning because it's starting to get me in my feels. So probably going to choose my music wisely and get this gym session done too. I have barely vlogged this week, but I am feeling it this week in so many more ways than just one. I am sick, my body is sore, I am run down, and my emotions are all over the place as I kind of come to the reality that this is my last couple of days here in Sydney. I'm doing a lot of goodbyes and saying goodbye to a lot of people. It's definitely been this week where I have questioned my decision many times. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I don't know if the Gold Coast is going to be the answer that like I'm looking for. Like there's a missing piece of me, and moving and doing such a crazy change is just gonna fill that. I know that there's a lot of like stuff that I just need to work through myself, but I definitely am excited for the new environment. I feel like putting myself in a new environment will make me a little bit uncomfortable, but it will be the shake up that I need to kind of welcome this next chapter into my life. So, but a big change is coming. I do have a week with my family for Christmas, and then straight to the Gold Coast, straight out of my regular routine. This routine which I've lived and loved for, 4 or 5 years. So I'm excited but nervous all at the same time, and I think that's just the reality of a change of this size. So if you are going through it, know that it's normal, know that you can kind of keep pushing through it. Yeah, there's no real answer. You just have to let the feelings be felt. Work through it, I guess. Hello. Good afternoon. I have not been able to vlog the past couple of days because it has been a whirlwind, but as you can see, my car is packed to the rafters because I've left Sydney. I packed everything into my little car. I've got probably like 6 bags in my Corolla. My brother had to pick up about 5 bags for me, and thank goodness Gemma is coming up to the Gold Coast for New Year's because she's going to pick up some more bags for me. But my car is packed and I have left Sydney. it still doesn't feel real. Still feels like I'm going on a little holiday. Last night I stayed in Newcastle. I had a friend in Newcastle that I was visiting, and it was really nice just to like break up my trip. I have just pulled up. I'm in front of my parents' house at the moment. They just recently moved to Port Macquarie. They've been building this house for 2 years, so I'm actually seeing it for the first time because I am firstly a slack daughter, but secondly just always very busy and always very chaotic. And because of that, I've not actually been up to see them like in the build progress. So here I am looking at it for the first time, and it's beautiful. It's definitely a house for them. They're just going to retire. Well, they have retired, but they're going to live out their retired life here in Port Macquarie, and it's always been a dream of theirs. So super excited for them. But yeah, this is my first stop. So it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. So I'm going to be here for the next 5 or 6 nights, spending some time with my family. Unfortunately, my sister isn't going to be here, but my brother, myself, mum and dad. And I'm actually going to just be able to switch off for a couple of days. And I cannot wait. Like, my body is so exhausted. Last night was probably the first night that I was able to have a good sleep, but the past weekend, just from different work events, we had work Christmas parties. I was obviously saying goodbye to as many people as I could. I was still training. I did Saturday Bayfit and Sunday Run Club, so I have just been running on empty. But last night I slept really good. That little drive to Port Macquarie, it was only about 2.5 hours, but it was so easy. I was listening to a few different podcasts, and it's so interesting. It's like no matter what podcast I pick at the moment, it's one of those things that it's like this message is just getting repeated to me from the universe. I think I listened to Modern Wisdom by Chris Williamson, a bit of Raw Reality, and then I was also listening to a Gary Vee podcast. So different podcasts at different times. And all 3 of them, there was like themes and common themes about change and how change is scary, but it's necessary if you want to grow. And there was just this common theme about, if you want to change your life, you really need to take control and push through that anxiety. And it's just so interesting because obviously that's exactly what I'm going through. My life in the next 2 weeks is going to look very different to how it did 2 weeks ago. And I'm so excited. I think I spent about 2 weeks being quite sad about it. Obviously saying goodbye to people is very emotionally not draining because it's a nice feeling. Like, I'm so lucky to have so many people that, making a goodbye is hard, or saying goodbye is hard. I feel very blessed by that, but at the same time, it just took an emotional toll on me because obviously you start doubting yourself. Like, am I making the right decision? I would even have people say to me verbally and like out loud, why are you doing this? Are you sure you're doing this? Are you making the right decision? Your life is so good here in Sydney. And it was. My life was amazing in Sydney. But I am chasing something new, and I'm excited to see what else is out there and, find what I believe is meant for me. And I guess at the end of the day, I have this reassurance because I know if I get there and it's not what is meant for me and it doesn't click, I'll just get up and move again. Like, I'm not stuck. You're never stuck. You're never stuck to a decision. You're never stuck to a choice. You can change it again. Doesn't matter how many people you tell. Like, if you are someone like me, I overshare and I choose to verbalize. I tell a lot of people what I'm thinking and what I want to do, but that doesn't scare me because I don't mind also facing them, 3 months later and saying, hey, that actually didn't work out. And I think there's a lot of, you have to be someone that can face that humility because it is a humbling experience. I've made many, many mistakes. I've done things that I thought was, yep, this is right. This is where I'm going to be for life, and definitely not it. Myself, I've been single now for almost 4 years. And I have pretty bad luck in the dating scene, but that luck is because I will dive so deeply into things and I'll tell everyone, I'm so sure about this is for me, and then it falls flat in my face and I get embarrassed. But it's one of those things that like I don't mind because making mistakes is such a common human experience. You're not alone, you're never alone. And you know, this huge move, me packing up my life and moving to the Gold Coast and not really sure what that all means for me. This might be a mistake, but it might also be the best thing ever. And there's something that's just so liberating about that feeling. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a little update because obviously this is a huge moment for me, a huge moment in my life, and I definitely want to vlog all of this and document all of this and post this because so many of you would be, you know, thinking, should I do it? Should I make the change? I'm sure there's feelings that you have. Like the Gold Coast was something for me that I had on my vision board for about 5 years running, just photos of the Gold Coast. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why I'm so attached to it, but I am. And it's going to be one of those things I know, like if I never made this decision, I would sit there, you know, in bed, staring at the ceiling one night when I was 40 years old, wondering why I never did it. So this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to just kind of chase the feeling, chase the attachment and see what's there for me. So very, very excited, but yeah, super keen just to spend some time here in Port Macquarie. Not really sure what happens up in this hood, but we'll find out. Spend some Christmas time. I'm not really a big Christmas gal, but it's still nice to spend some time with family and use these moments as ways to catch up. So spend some time here and then take you with me, obviously share some of my brain thoughts and my brain dumps, and then head to the Gold Coast in a couple of days. A bit of a house tour.
Hey, how are you doing? You want to come for a tour?
Show us. Hat on.
Really come with yeah, this is the kitchen. It's where I do all the cooking.
Oh, wait, get food. That's nice. Merry Christmas! It's Christmas Day. I've spent the day with my family, the morning with my family. We went to the beach, took the dog for a walk, and I cooked them breakfast, and everyone was just kind of lazing around before we have Christmas lunch. We're gonna have like a late lunch dinner situation, so I thought I'd get out and go for a walk, get some sun. My family, we're quite small. It's just my mum, my dad, my brother, and my sister. However, my sister is with her partner this year, so you know, our Christmas is definitely quite small time, but it's still really nice to have that time and be intimate and like, you know, enjoy their time. But yeah, definitely, like even I compare myself to those families that have big family Christmases with all their uncles and cousins and families mixed together, because you know, our family has had their own issues and gone through their own things, so it means that, you know, out of all the uncles and aunties that I do have, we just spend it by ourselves quite often. So yeah, I guess it's just a reminder, like, you know, no matter what it is, whether it's money, relationships, you know, someone else's job, where they're living, families, you can always put yourself in a situation where you do compare yourself to others and what they've got, but it's times like this that you just need to look inwards, and you know, be super lucky for the things that you do have. Like I'm so blessed to have such a healthy, happy family, you know, just my small family, but everyone has good health, and you know, we all have really good relationships with each other, so really, really lucky to be able to spend this time. And mum and dad just moved to this beautiful house in Port Macquarie, so feeling so blessed. And you know, yourself, make sure that you look inwards and look for the things that you should be grateful for, even if you are by yourself. Like, what can you be grateful for even on a day like Christmas? It's the beautiful skies and the blue ocean, and you know, getting outside and just spending that day where there is no hustle and bustle because people aren't shopping and people aren't working, and you get to spend that day with yourself. So definitely like use moments like this and learn from it. What am I grateful for? What do I have to look inwards, or how can I look at my own environment and be grateful for what I have? And obviously take that into the year over and just keep learning and keep growing.
Yep.
So we need to need a new one.
Happy I don't even know what day it is. Happy Thursday. It is Boxing Day today, so I am still in Port Macquarie. I will probably be leaving tomorrow to head to the Gold Coast, which is super, super exciting. I haven't really been training whilst I've been here. I'm still struggling with a really sore hip, and I'm just trying to let that recover because I want to be able to go on walks pain-free, because I can't even walk pain-free at the moment. So I do want to be able to walk pain-free when I get to the Gold Coast. So we're not going to the gym again. If anything, I might go to a swimming pool and do some laps. But I am just trying to relax, especially now that I've got my girlies as well. Just trying to relax and take it slow. Really just like decompress from the whole year that it has been. And by God, has it been a year. I was just trying to journal the other day, and I was thinking about everything that I did this year. This time last year, going into Christmas, I was super strict with my food because I was just about to enter a 20-week prep. I competed. I travelled alone in Europe. I moved out of home. I moved about 3 times last year. I was, director of Waikiki marketing all at the same time. And now, just to finish it off, I'm moving states completely. So it has been a really transformative year. A lot of stuff has happened, but everything good. Like, all of these things are things that I had on my vision board right at the beginning of the year. So I'm so blessed. Obviously, I worked hard for everything. But, it's so cool to watch it all come to fruition and kind of look back on the year and go, I actually did what I said I was going to do. It wasn't a year by any means that I just kind of relaxed and took it slow. I really said, no, I'm going to get all of these things done. And now we get to finish off the year in the Gold Coast, which is super exciting. So just going to go for a little walk now, get a coffee, and just have one more last chill day with my family before we get ready to head up north tomorrow. We just did our last stop from Port Macquarie, which means my next stop is my new home in the Gold Coast. My car is packed to the rim, but I am so excited. I've got Gemma with me today. She's going to help me move in. My parents are already up there, which it's so nice to have like these people around, but I'm actually I'm so excited. I'm like giddy now. And even putting into my maps to press go home. Like, I'm going home right now. I'm not going to the Gold Coast, I'm going home. So I'm so excited. We have just pulled off the highway and we're driving through Tugun right now. But I have just had like the craziest sense of emotions run through me. I cried, and at the same time I felt like I was going to vomit. It just feels so surreal. Like, this, living in the Gold Coast is something that I spoke about since I was a little girl. I swear for the last 10 years I have told everybody that my plan is to live in the Gold Coast. Like, it was on my 5-year goal sheet maybe back in 2000, and now it's 2024 and I've got my car packed, my mum's got their car packed, my best friend behind me has her car packed, and we are moving me into the Gold Coast today. Like, it's happening. It's happening. I'm definitely an ugly crier, but I am just so freaking, I don't know, proud of myself, proud that I've done it, proud in my own ability just to like take the leap. I'm so nervous. I don't know what the next kind of chapter looks like for me. Oh my God. It's all so surreal. I don't know what next year holds. I don't know what gym I'll sign up at. I don't know what my day-to-day is going to look like. Everything is so unknown, but I'm so excited. I was just listening to a podcast on the way up here with Alex Hormozy and Chris Williamson, and they were talking about how it's so important to frame your mind, and everyone gets anxious and everyone gets nervous, but it's about telling yourself, like, are you really anxious and nervous, or is there an excitement? Like, are you excited for the event? And this is something that, like, yeah, okay, I'm probably nervous, I'm probably anxious, but more than anything, like, I am so excited. Anyway, I'm a little bit of an emotional wreck, but we are about 10 minutes out. Gem and I are going to spend the whole day unloading my car. I can't wait to see Kayla. I've been so excited. She's here already. They've been moved in for a couple of weeks, but we've got our whole next year together living in the same place, and it's so exciting. I don't know how many times I told people, oh, I'm moving to the Gold Coast, and their reaction was, oh yeah, I can see you living there. Oh, the Gold Coast would suit you. Like, I always felt so out of place in Parramatta. I don't belong in Parramatta. I love Parramatta, but I stuck out like a sore thumb. Like, I just felt like it was not my area. I always felt a little bit like I didn't belong, and sure, in the Gold Coast I might be a carbon copy of, you know, most of the people that live here, but I just feel like that means I'm excited because it's so likely that I'm going to meet a people that I go, ah, this is my people, this is my group. I can't even explain how many times I used to write about the Gold Coast or put the Gold Coast on my vision board. And like, obviously I come here all the time. I visit maybe 2-3 times a year. But driving through these streets right now, I just feel different. Like, I'm not visiting anymore. This is my home. This is where I live. This is where people will come and visit me, and this is where I'll meet new friends and find new opportunities, and this is where 2025 Abby is going to be.